For today's video, I have ventured out to Salisbury, North Carolina, and tonight I'm going to be attending my first ever ghost walking tour. So, pretty excited. Didn't really have this on the agenda tonight. I was going to go and do another haunt a little bit north of here, but unfortunately with the hurricane that came through the other day, well, yesterday and also Thursday, kind of ruined those plans a little bit. They were having some power outage issues and stuff like that, so they closed for the evening and they had to reschedule for another time. So, you know, no big deal. Things happen and just kind of have to roll with the punches. But tonight, like I said, I'm in downtown Salisbury, standing right here in front of this really awesome, looks to be like some kind of a church-ish thing, castle kind of thing. Not even sure what it really is, but I wanted to do my intro here because this thing is really amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. And the crazy thing is that downtown Salisbury has a lot of old churches that look kind of medieval-ish. But look at that freaking building right there. That is so freaking amazing. But yeah, I'm in downtown Salisbury because I'm doing a walking ghost tour. Can't wait to do it. First time ever doing it, like I said. Very freaking pumped. It's gonna start in about 30 to 45 minutes. We're gonna be meeting right down the road over here. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what this is like. I hope it's awesome. I hope it's cool. I've been a fan of the paranormal for a long time. I love doing haunt stuff, ghost things, stuff like that. So, oh, and I'm actually wearing kind of an appropriate t-shirt for this evening. If you look, The Exorcist. I'm not going to be doing any exorcisms tonight, but kind of doing something on that kind of realm. Ghosty stuff, paranormal stuff, hopefully. So I can't wait to get started. So I hope you all will join me for another epic adventure for a spooky evening full of maybe ghosts, goblins, who knows. But I am ready to hear about the paranormal history of downtown Salisbury. And like I said, I hope you'll join me. And as always, let's get started. Yeah, so like I said, downtown Salisbury has a lot of really cool churches, like old churches that look like castles. It's freaking amazing. But as I drove over here and pulled in, I noticed this park over here. You see a lot of people are out here playing soccer, throwing football, stuff like that, but there's this really awesome like waterfall over here that I've never seen something like this at a park. So I kind of want to go over here, take a look at it. So you have our generous donors right here. That's pretty cool. You have people that have donated right here on the wall. Yeah, really cool. Oh, now the water's kind of stopped a little bit, but yeah, this thing is really awesome though. Look at that. Looks like there might be some kind of a, not a prom, but formal, I guess. Look at that waterfall thing. That is so freaking awesome. I like how it changes colors. But yeah, first time ever, I think, in downtown Salisbury. This is really awesome though. That vine growing all over the wiring up there. I just can't get over that waterfall thing. That thing is so freaking cool. Let's see, did I get the name over here? Ah, here we go. So apparently this is the Bell Tower Green at Standback Square. Almost at Park. At Standback Square. So Bell Tower Green. Look at that freaking amazing park. That is so freaking awesome. I like how the sky is kind of dark and ominous, kind of adds to the eeriness for this evening. But yeah, I'm pretty freaking stoked to be in downtown Salisbury. And also, while I was driving over here, I passed this mural on this building right here. I passed this. Kind of wanted to showcase that real quick. Kind of burning some time until the tour is about to begin. So this is the Salisbury Cotton Mills. Religious fervor provided the impetus for establishing Rowan County's post-Civil War textile industry. On November 9th, 1887, during a 3-week revival held in the farmer's warehouse on the site, the Reverend R.G. Pearson, a visiting evangelist, called for the building of the factories to provide employment. The cornerstone was laid on August 2nd, 1888. By 1900, Rowan County had become a leading producer of textiles. Pretty cool. I think Salisbury also is the birth of cheerwine. So I'm surprised they don't have a lot of cheerwine stuff around, because I know Salisbury is the birthplace of cheerwine. But yeah, this is the mural right over here that I wanted to get on video real quick. So it looks like probably set back maybe in like the early 1900s, maybe mid-ish 1900s, judged by the way they're dressed. Got a horse and buggy right there. Yeah, pretty cool. This thing looks like it's probably been here for quite a while. See some of the paint kind of peeling off, chipping off. Like you have a trolley right up there. Try to back up and get a better shot. There were some cars driving by, so I had to kind of walk close to the building, but yeah, check that out. Really cool mural. And as you can see, Salisbury's already embracing the autumn time of year. It's already kind of looking like autumn a little bit. You got some of the leaves changing colors now. So pretty soon, all of these leaves are going to be really bright and beautiful. Check out these statues right here, this artwork. It's called Funky Jazz by Jason Morris. Check out these guys. It's pretty awesome. This building is where we are meeting for this evening. And as you can see right here, it says Ghost Walk Tours tonight. Ghost Walk Tour at 8. You can see the ghoulish creature peeking through the window right there. So yeah, the Ghost Walk Tour is at 8. In about 35 or so minutes we'll be meeting here. You can also get a little pamphlet here. Kind of talks about the tours, how much it costs, $13 for adults, $5 for students. Hey, there's a number to call. You also have a website there, salisburyghostwalk.com. But yeah, so if you want to come out here and do a tour, there's the information right there. So dusk has reared its head tonight. It is now getting kind of dark. The ghosts and goblins are ready to come out and play. It's a freaking cool church right there. Yeah, I'm gonna walk down this road to have a little bit more time to burn. So I'm gonna walk down this road here and show you the other church. That's pretty awesome as well. Yeah, I just never really knew that Salisbury, downtown Salisbury, had this kind of history to it. So I made it about a block down the road from the courthouse, and here you have the Episcopal Church, St. Luke's, established in 1753. and it welcomes me. So it's right over here. This church is really cool. I drove by it when I was coming out here. Took a wrong turn, so I had to come down this road and go all the way around to where I parked. But yeah, I saw this church when I passed by right over here. It's a freaking amazing looking church though. This thing is freaking amazing. I just never would have known that downtown Salisbury has all this cool architecture to it, but this place is freaking awesome. Wonder if we'll be visiting this church tonight for the ghost walk tour. Maybe go inside, I don't know. So it looks like here we have a classic like car show going on tonight. I did not know that. But take a look at these amazing freaking cars. Now I know tonight's supposed to be about ghosts, but I just had to come over here and show these freaking amazing cars. Look at this. Now I don't know a whole lot about cars. I do know how to work on them a little bit, but I do not know what kind a lot of these cars are. But they are freaking, this one's freaking amazing looking. Look at that. Over here though, just real quick, I passed by this and it said Washington Southern Tour. President Washington was a visitor in the town of Salisbury from May 30th through the 31st in 1791. But I just love these freaking buildings, man. They're just so awesome. Got that church over there where I was just at a minute ago, but then you have these sculptures. You have a lot of these around here, around downtown Salisbury. There's George Washington, Miss Washington, I guess. It says right here. George Washington visits Salisbury. Tekla and Dan Howichin are the artists. It says, in commemoration of the 225th anniversary of George Washington's visit to Salisbury, this sculpture was made possible through the efforts and generosity of the City of Salisbury Public Art Committee. Yeah. So I'm assuming, you know, obviously George Washington, his daughter, and his wife. Right there. Pretty awesome. Yeah, I kind of got sidetracked, but yeah, this is the car show that's going on this evening. Yeah, I'm just really digging the sky for this evening. I mean, it really does add to the ambiance for this evening. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Notice right here you have Mean Mug coffee. I should probably go in there and get something. Yeah, coffee, lattes, fraps, chai lattes, horchata? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Tea and smoothies. Horchata. Mean Mug. Really clever name though for a coffee shop. So I walked back over to the park again because now the fountain is all lit up in all of its glory. Had the really cool colors. Yeah, the ghost tour is about to begin and I cannot wait. But look at this. I just don't know what this thing is. What is this thing? It can't be a church, but whatever it is, look at this thing just glowing with that ominous sky. Dang. That is freaking cool. Nice little gazebo out here. You can come out here and just hang out. It feels really, really good. It's about low 70s right now. Nice little breeze. It just feels insanely amazing out. Great night for a ghost tour, if I do say so myself. Yeah. First time ever being to downtown Salisbury. Did not disappoint. Not one bit. Got the fountain over there again. Radiating green, now purple, pink hue. Really awesome. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and head over to the meeting place because we're going to be meeting here in about 5 or so minutes. Got to grab my battery as well. My camera has about 50% battery right now. I've been filming for the last 45 minutes. This battery dies very, very quick on this thing. I'm going to go grab my battery and I'm going to head over to the meeting place, which is right over there.
There are 3 ghosts in the building that we can identify. The first is Senator Overman. Mr. Overman was quite the ladies' man, and he is known to play with the hair of the women who work in this building today. Can you imagine sitting at your desk, typing away, doing some work, and all of a sudden you feel something stroke your hair like this, and you turn around to see a co-worker, but there's nobody there? That would be Mr. Overman. The second ghost in this building is named Kerr Craig. Mr. Kerr Craig was the 3rd Postmaster General serving the whole United States under Presidents Benjamin Harrison and Grover Cleveland. That's the 1920s. The third ghost in the building is a U.S. postal clerk. He discovered a bomb that was sent to the home of Senator Overman, and the postal clerk thought that was strange for a package to be going to their house addressed to Dad, because all the other packages that were going to the house were addressed to Mr. Overman's 2 daughters. You see, there was a double wedding that summer, so all of the packages were wedding presents. So to see a package addressed to Dad was very suspicious. The postal clerk set that package to the side. He finished sorting the mail for the day. Then he came back to investigate that package, and it was discovered to be a bomb. Somebody had sent bombs to everyone on Senator Overman's senatorial committee. The committee he served on was called the Un-American Committee. They were identifying people, and then they were labeled as Bolsheviks. These are folks who did not support the side of World War I that the United States held. The ghost who found that package is still here inside this building. I believe he's making sure that no more ghosts or no more bombs are sent to the people of Salisbury. You might be wondering, why in the world are ghosts hanging around a place like this? It's been my experience to learn that ghosts are in a place that was their happy place on earth, so the place they were the most happy. Now, Scripture does say, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So watch what it is that you really enjoy, or the place where you really like to be, because you just might be there for longer than you want after you die. So ghosts are in a happy place, or ghosts are present, protecting us, telling us about something evil that happened so that we don't do it again, or ghosts are in a place that they controlled when they were alive, and they are still there trying to control that space even today. Those are the 3 reasons that I have encountered ghosts in these buildings, okay? And you have to go inside the building to have these personal encounters. Or, I did have I believe it was a Confederate soldier who approached a young college student, and he wanted the college student's girlfriend, who was dressed rather seductively, and so he actually punched that college student right in the stomach, made him double over in pain, and then proceeded to go over and be with the lady, right? And it was a woman, and he's like touching the woman like this, and we're like, okay, time to get out of the yard. This is happening inside the yard. Those are the only things that have happened out here, but maybe something unique will happen to you. If it does, if you feel somebody touching you, and you can, it's not the guys behind you now, okay? If you feel somebody touch you or something or play with your hair, we'll see what's happening, okay? Now, have I scared anybody? Anybody want their money back? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, I like saying that too. Okay. The ghosts in this building do show up on the staircase, inside right over here. Again, this was the post office. Upstairs was the federal courtroom. This is a federal building. 3 3 ghosts inside. There's a shadow ghost out here on the bricks. And we're going to make our way down Church Street and go to a haunted cemetery. That'll be first up, okay?
All right, so that was pretty cool. The tour guide was talking about some different EVPs and pictures that were taken over the years on this exact ghost tour right up there. So now we're all heading down, getting ready to hang a right here and going to a cemetery. And he's going to talk more about this cemetery when we get there. And supposedly a lot of ghosts have been present at this cemetery. Very loud truck. Everywhere has a church street, as the saying goes. And the tour guide was actually just telling all of us that right over there at that building, right there on this road, the first episode of The Legends of Sleepy Hollow were filmed there. Did not know that. Pretty freaking cool. Even in the town of Salisbury, a popular TV show was filmed here.
Cornwallis was defeated. They marched to Salisbury, traveling up the Great Wagon Road. When they arrived in town, some of his men died from the journey and from their injuries. They're buried here in this cemetery. It is possible to see the apparition of redcoat soldiers from the waist up. They'll have on red coats. You'll recognize them pretty easily, okay?
Yeah, so I'm getting ready to go inside the old English cemetery. Cornwallis men buried here in 1781. I'm gonna walk up these steps right now. Look how freaking awesome this gate is. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, walking up these steps. Wow, look at this.
Young mothers will...
Yeah, so they're all over there doing like K2 meter readings. Kind of want to go and do my own thing a little bit. Just gonna walk around, look at some of these graves, check them out. It's been a while since I've been in a cemetery. It's like you have maybe a Confederate grave right here. So you got the flags. Very difficult to read that. It says John W. Ellis. November 28th, 1820. Died July 7th, 1861. I haven't actually been out to a cemetery at night. I don't think ever. So this is my first time actually being out to a cemetery at night. Oh, look at this. Looks like this one cracked, unfortunately. Yeah, this one I cannot make out at all. Gave us these flashlights too, right here for the tour. Man, it's just so freaking peaceful out here. It's crazy. Like you have another maybe Confederate grave right here. Yep. Corporal John Scott. NC State TRP CSA, August 15th, 1820, died February 9th, 1871. Right there. Another Confederate grave here. This one just says KC. says Gaskell. Gaskell. Yeah, this cemetery is really cool. Right off the side of the road, but very peaceful, very quiet, and it's only 8:15, 8:20 right now. I guess the tour guide is ready to go on to the next thing. He's kind of rounding everybody up over here. Yeah, it's a pretty cool walkthrough of this cemetery. Didn't really go on this side over here, but yeah, freaking awesome. Another cool one right there. All right, so he's rounding everybody up now.
This cemetery had wooden crosses. There are over 140 graves here. It is full. In this African American cemetery, this is called the Freedmen's Cemetery. So an African American cemetery historically was designed for the living so that they could come and remember those family members who were now deceased and no longer with them. I do not think anybody has ever come into that cemetery and had a picnic. But in this cemetery, it would happen all the time. It's a difference in the culture and a difference in one's view of life after death. In the 1970s, Salisbury built a new jail. It happens to be behind us over here. This road was not part of Salisbury's past. When they cut Liberty Street through, they had to shorten the Freedmen Cemetery. And they moved those graves to another historic African-American cemetery across town. But to honor and to memorialize the graves of those freed people in the street, they constructed an African quilt pattern in cobblestone. Here was the gallows. If you committed a crime that was guilty of death, this is where you were hung by the neck until dead. If you did not live in town or have a burial place, you were buried here at the back of the courthouse at the foot of the gallows. So there are some graves right in this area down here where there's a nice park today, but we're not going to go down there tonight. There's also a lot of underground wires leading over to the jail and the prison and the courthouse, which makes it difficult to do paranormal investigation with K2 meters right over here. But that tree marks the place where the gallows was located. Again, that would be mid-1800s. We're heading down the block this way. We needed the Great Wagon Road because that's how all of our delegates got to Philadelphia to sign the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, all of our important founding documents. Okay, those then traveled the Wagon Road. In 1690, the Wagon Road was surveyed. Shortly after that, the town of Salisbury appears on the Great Wagon Road. It had 5 log cabins. One of those log cabins was a courthouse, another was a jail. There was a place to get your wagons repaired, a place to get something to eat, and a place to stay. Okay? So those were the log cabins. But from the early days in the 1700s and 1800s, we understand that the business that was located here, it wasn't Spanky's Ice Cream Parlor back in the 1800s. There was another business. But the newspaper tells us that behind that was the business about this doorway right over there. There was a barber shop. The barber shop was run by William Valentine. William Valentine was a free African American. He was cutting hair in an office or a barber shop right here some 30 years before the Civil War. His story is in this brass plaque here in the sidewalk. So he was cutting hair here 30 years before the Civil War. In 1874, now 14 years after the Civil War, he was voted to be the best barber in the state. He was an African American. He made so much money cutting hair of people in the African American community, he was able to buy land and build a house in downtown Salisbury. So think about this. 30 years before the Civil War, a free black man had a business on the main square pretty much, and he owned his own land and house in the southern part of town, but inside the city limits. That's because Salisbury had a merchant economy, and it made all things possible for those who were willing to work. Let's get this young gentleman up here. Come here, sir. I want to walk up there and see if there's a note. Remember all the voices I played for you? This is the business where all those voices. All those voices came from this building right here, the Salisbury Wine Shop. In 1900, when downtown Salisbury was redeveloped, this was a stationery store run by a German immigrant named Theo Beerbaum. Mr. Theo's historic marker is in the sidewalk right over here. Mr. Theo was a German immigrant, and he was selling stationery and picture postcards. He photographed downtown Salisbury as it was being redeveloped, and he turned those pictures into picture postcards, and they made their way across the United States. Because in downtown Salisbury, every business had a whiskey stand right out front. You could get a shot of whiskey at every business you went to. Upstairs, today we think of them as being apartments. Back in the 1800s, they were brothels. In fact, in the journals of the Confederate prison, they wrote how we had an estimated 700 prostitutes in downtown Salisbury. Downtown's only 2 blocks that way, 2 blocks this way, 2 blocks, not that big of a place. 700 working girls. We also had 5 whiskey distilleries in downtown Salisbury. We had the reputation of being the wettest and the wickedest town on the eastern seaboard. So in the basement we had a speakeasy. This was Theo's stationery store. We asked the question, are you with your family? And the ghost said, I love it. In this store, right inside the front doors. In the 1970s, this was a ladies' dress shop called Purcell's Dress Shop, run by a woman named Margaret Dawkins. Margaret's ghost haunts her office right upstairs. It's the rectangular window right there. That's her office. We can lay a flashlight on the floor in the doorway. Margaret will turn on the light in answer to our questions. If the answer is yes, she knows how to turn on the flashlight. It's crazy. Margaret was also the ghost that cried out, please help me. There's something in my apartment that doesn't belong. I turned around and began to take pictures. That's where I got the giant pink orb.
Yeah, really bustling little town right here. A lot of people driving by. Oh, look, finally we have a Cheerwine store. I was wondering when I was going to see one of these. Look at all this Cheerwine paraphernalia. Too bad that place is closed. I would love to get in there. Birthplace of Cheerwine, Salisbury. It says Andrew Jackson studied law under Spruce McKay, 1784-1785, at an office which stood 1 block west.
When they redeveloped downtown Salisbury and they decided that all the buildings should be made out of brick.
This building right there.
The Great Wagon Road was good red Rowan County clay, and that is a perfect foundation on which to build a brick building. So they built all of the buildings we just passed from that last traffic light, that block and this block, and that block over there and this block over here. They got basements in these buildings. And to cover the basement, they raised the street level about 15 feet. And it covered the first floor of the wagon repair shop from the 1700s. This served as the wagon repair shop right here, okay? Today it's a brick building. The walls are about that thick. You can imagine the wood logs and the brick outside, okay? It was a wooden structure. It was owned by a man named Cyrus West, and he still haunts his house. One of the things that Cyrus West can do is to open the curtains on the second floor. There's a little tiny curtain rod that's precariously positioned there by a little tiny nail. If I touch it, it falls down. But the ghost can open the drapes and close the drapes. Like you see in that second window right there, okay? Cyrus West, he still haunts his house. We have access to the first floor basement because underneath the sidewalk there is a tunnel. It is about 6 to 8 feet wide. It starts at the brick over here, and it comes out to about here, about 8 feet out. Now where my flashlight is. You can drive a golf cart through the tunnel. The tunnel runs from this block, it crosses the street, and it runs up this block. On the other side of the street, it goes all the way down to the Maroney Theater. Some of these buildings still have that basement door
I love that marquee.
opens up into the tunnel.
Marquee's awesome.
Not every business has such a door, okay? Actually, find a paintbrush and lay it out on the counter as if to say, paint my house, whitewash white is the only acceptable color. On the one side, we do have a barber shop with nice white walls. Over here we have a new business that painted the walls gunmetal gray. We'll have to see how long the ammo shop stays. I give them about 3 more months. And then I think he'll be hunting and maybe they'll want to move. But then again, they sell guns and ammo in there. Maybe they feel that they got more power than the ghost. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that with me. We're going this way, down into the Empire. Okay.
Yeah, so what the tour guide was saying is that the ghost that haunts this building up here, I guess they play with the curtains on that window right there. They're saying that the ghost hates when the inside of that place is painted anything other than white. So gets very mad when someone paints any of the interior any color other than white. And he said that they have an ammo shop, which is right below on the left side, that painted their inside gray. And he said that he gives that business about 3 more months until they start seeing activity. I don't know though.
When they moved the props and the set pieces into the new electric Maroney Theater, our ghost came with them, and she now haunts the Maroney. Right here, we're standing in front of the Empire Hotel. Empire Hotel was actually encompasses another hotel. It dates back to 1859, 1 year before the Civil War. The original hotel was called the Boyden House, and it covers the first 7 windows that we can see up here, which takes us down to that second yellow brick column right over here. So all of this would have been the Boyden House. The Boyden House had storefronts down here. The main entrance would have been right here. Okay, this would have been the main entrance into the Boyden House. And it had a grand ballroom up on the 2nd floor. The Grand Ballroom was the nicest ballroom in the South. It would rival the ballroom that you can see in the movie Titanic. Had beautiful walls, beautiful ceiling with crown molding. In fact, there's some old pictures up here, over here that actually shows what the Grand Ballroom ceiling looked like. We can see some faded red paint up there. The yellow trim that we see would have been gilded. It was a beautiful room. And they used to have trade shows here. People would come from all over the South to see what items they might want to purchase so that they could sell them or use them in their house or their stores. I think people enjoyed the trade shows not so much for all the items, but for all the alcohol and all of the ladies of the night that were here. And the investigations that we did, we were in here on Friday the 13th in August of 2009. Everybody that went into the building, 2011, everybody that went into the building had a personal encounter with the ghost. I want to share a video that we shot, so if you guys will come closer, volume's up so you can hear my wife squeal when the ghost shows up. I'll show it this way, and this way, okay, so everybody can see it. We're looking down a hallway. Yeah, we're looking down a hallway, okay? On the side, right over here, is a piece of wallpaper. It looks pink. It's folded over on the wall, off the wall, okay? See the pink wallpaper right here? When I start the video, you're going to see white orbs shoot across the bottom. Those are ghosts. There's no heat or air conditioning in the building, so there is no air moving. These things are moving under their own power, okay? So you're going to see stuff move across here. My wife is shooting the video with her cell phone. I'm taking flash pictures, so you will see flashes. My son is recording the voices of the ghosts. We are on a public tour, so you'll hear other people around us saying, look at those people, they think there's ghosts.
You can see all these things flying around in here.
10 years fly.
Yep.
Trying to take pictures of the ghost.
Oh my gosh, there's one right in front of me.
Right there? Yep.
Yeah, it was right in front of me.
And now we're getting ready to go down this haunted alley right here. From what the tour guy said, he said it's pretty active through here. So, I'll turn my flashlight on, but he says if you have your flashlight on, you're probably going to see orbs. But, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, that freaking church. Freaking awesome. This is like some shot you would have for like some scary movie, whether it be like Friday 13th or Halloween or something. Like you can see like some woman running up through here screaming, trying to get away from Michael or Jason or somebody. That's what this reminds me of. But yeah, didn't really see any orbs back there. This old dilapidated building structure. Yeah, I mean honestly this looks like some backlot movie set. It's really giving off those vibes. Look at that. So a cool fact that I just learned about this mural that I showed you guys earlier in the intro, this mural is touched up every 2 years, and it is representation of the turn of the century. And he also said that every person on that mural is alive today. So those pictures that are painted, the portraits that are painted I should say, are of people that are still alive today. So that's pretty freaking cool. So supposedly we are now on the most haunted street in Salisbury.
Battle of New Orleans. Andrew Jackson became a war hero overnight. The people of Salisbury said, Andrew Jackson, come back to town. We forgive your debt. You don't owe us any money, but you, sir, are a national hero, and we want to celebrate you. He said, no thanks. He went through Kentucky, Tennessee, and then up into Washington, D.C., where he became the next president of the United States. But that's where he studied law.
I just can't get over how scenic this downtown area is. Like, my God. First United Methodist Church. And he said that this well right there was the first well to be built in downtown Salisbury. This is where all the water came from back in the day. Right there. So he said that right inside this library here, there is a handwritten letter by George Washington. Right inside there. Interesting. Be pretty awesome to get inside there and see it. Handwritten letter from George Washington. Now, I was in Natural Bridge, Virginia back in the summer, and of course I saw George Washington's initials down there under the Natural Bridge. If that's real, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's still pretty cool to think about. George Washington being there, carving his initials, and also a handwritten letter right in that library back there. Man, look at this. This is freaking cool. Look at that. Look at that house over there.
They built in 1820. There is an owl in the tree over there. It's just like inside. 1820. The Andrew Murphy family descended.
That house is freaking crazy awesome. Dang.
The house sold in 2013, 2015, and 2020. The house is usually on our October tour, which will be happening the second weekend of October. If y'all are in town, it is worth the ticket price because you'll get to go inside many of the houses down here, and a number of them are haunted. So bring your cell phone and shoot video. Okay? 2 weeks. Second weekend of October. Actually 3 weeks. Andrew Murphy House is haunted inside by Maud Murphy. Maud died in the 1940s. Maud asked her housekeeper to please go retrieve her final papers. The housekeeper said, "Maud, I don't know what you're talking about." Maud said, "That's okay, I'll get it myself." She literally got up from her deathbed and began to open drawers in the house. In doing so, she died doing that activity, and her ghost continues to open drawers. When the house was renovated in 2015, Maud went into the kitchen and was trying to investigate the work of the plumber. I know this because the plumber was one of my church members. He said, "Pastor John, we can see a woman in the kitchen behind us when our heads are underneath the sink and we're hooking up the plumbing, but yet when we come out to greet her, she vanishes." I said, "Her name's Maud. Just tell her you're going to make the kitchen better than when her husband built it, and she'll leave you alone." And that's exactly what happened. Tell them, is it buried underneath the big oak tree in the backyard is a Confederate soldier. He appeared first as an orb up in this great big tree right here, okay? These are crepe myrtle trees, the biggest crepe myrtle trees in town. So it appeared as a round light orb. When the orb came down to the ground, a person came out of it. Here's the round circle of light. Part of the light is at his knee, his waist, and his head. There you go. He's buried under a big oak tree in the backyard. All right. During the Civil War, there were no cemeteries for
God, this house is so freaking cool. I cannot get over this house. This place is like fully embracing the Halloween season. It's freaking amazing. That cool fence, wrought iron gate. Look at that. Yeah, so he was saying that this house was sold back in 2020. God, that's so freaking cool. That's a cool, cool house. I would live in that house. Man. Imagine like the money you can make from ghost tours if you bought that house. It'd be insane.
So I was sitting up on the front porch in a rocking chair. It was the early part of the evening, and a ghost spoke and said, "It's back." I said, "What's back?" The ghost said, "It has been sent away. It was gone for a long time, and it just came back on Wednesday." None of that made any sense to me. That's how the ghost told me. But shortly after she stopped speaking, the caretaker for the house came walking around the corner right here.
So this is the Hall house.
Over to the right side. The caretaker said, "Oh, it's you, John."
Dr. Joseph Wells Hall.
What just came back into the house on Wednesday? He said, "Who told you that?" I said, "You don't believe me." He said, "Who told you?" I said, "A ghost." He said, "Yeah, I don't believe you." talked to my wife, didn't you? I said, no, I don't know your wife that well. I did not talk to your wife, but I understand that something was sent out and that it just came back on Wednesday. Now, what was it? He said, nobody told you this? I said, a ghost told me. He's back during COVID. I was seeing right in front of this window. There's a rocking chair there today.
House is amazing.
And this woman came out in a very excited way how happy she was that the portrait of Dr. Hall was there. This property is haunted
Joseph
by
Wells.
numerous ghosts. Come back. So if you want to, I'll be quiet. You can take some video with your phone and see if some of the ghosts will show up, of course. Miss Henrietta, are you up on the porch? Can you come out and say hello to us? General Stoneman, are you present, sir? We'd like to make your picture. I'm not seeing anything tonight. Something's there. Miss Henrietta, are you up on the balcony? This is Henrietta, the woman up on the balcony. That's the daughter of Dr. Hall. Are there any other soldiers present? We'd like to make your picture tonight. I'm not seeing anything right here. That's the reflection of that. Is somebody down here? Here's over that way. There's a big tree. It was actually here during the Civil War. There used to be a swing hanging from that tree right there. It was possible to sit in the swing and to ask the soldiers to give you a push. And if you were a woman, they would come out and give you a push as you sat in the swing.
Probably have to have some serious money to own this place. Yeah, it's really cool house. Look at this house with a fountain in the front yard. Yeah, this road right here, very ritzy little neighborhood. That is for certain.
This became the second all-girls school. But the building is haunted by Jim and Molly Wren, and also a little girl named Hope. Hope's father, Hope lived at the time it was the girls' school. Hope was a little girl, about age 10. She had a childhood disease, so she was not allowed to go out and play. Her mom and dad thought they could keep her alive longer if they kept her at home. So she never went out to play. The only fun she had in life was when her dad would come over to the all-girls school to make repairs, and he brought his daughter with him. And she got to be a little girl playing, a child at play rather than a sickly child. Her name is Hope, and Hope has haunted this building and done many mischievous things. Those of you who have lived here for some time, maybe you ate in this building when it was a restaurant. Hope would do mischievous things. There's a picture of her. I asked her to come out and play hide and seek with us. She said, "You'll never find me." Then she ran and hid in a closet in the back and set off a motion detector. When the lead investigator went to turn off his motion detector, she ran back into the room and she said, "I told you you'd never find me." And we didn't see her that night.
I don't see anything. Said the little girl's name is Hope. Kept trying to ask Hope if she'll come out to play. I don't think she's in the mood tonight. She's probably all tuckered out. Guess we're gonna head over to the bell tower, which is that cool structure right there. So that's what it is. I couldn't figure out what it was earlier, but it's the bell tower. It is the bell tower. How freaking cool would it be? These windows are bricked up now. How cool would it be if something actually did peek out the windows up there?
That is a black door. That is an interior door. In front of that door, there's a picture of a woman named Sadie Klutz, a full apparition in color. She's wearing a pink dress, she has blonde hair, and her hands are folded just like yours right in front of her.
Where is she standing?
Right next to that white post, right by that black door. She's in front of the black door. See the white post? Can't see the door. Can't see that? All right. He said,
So the apparition would have been right here.
The strangest
That white
request
post
was
is.
to build the session house on the corner, right there. The session house is where you come to church for a meeting that is not worship related. So if you were in the women's quilting circle, they would have met in that space. Or if you were coming for a business meeting, property committee or the finance committee or the board of elders, you would have met in that building. It's called the session house. Their session.
Yep, which
Church
is that
council,
building
they would have met
behind
in the
right
session
there.
house. But he wanted the session house built over top of his family cemetery. So let's go look at the only marked graves underneath a building in all of Rowan County. Let's take a peek, take a picture. Maxwell Chambers is in the back corner with his wife Catherine. His half-sister Lucy and her family are at his feet. They are in the cinder block crypt. There's a grave in the front buried in the ground. That is a young girl who died at the all-girls school.
Yeah, so supposedly, little girl was dared by her friends to jump off the balcony. And she did it, she jumped off, but unfortunately she did not survive. And one of those burial things are hers. She did not make it. It's pretty cool, but it's sad. But yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. Right in there. Yeah, so that's going to do it for the Salisbury walking ghost tour. My thoughts and review. I think it's a pretty decent tour for its price. I mean, $13 is not too terrible. It's not going to break your wallet or anything. So I think the price is pretty good compared to what you're getting. Now, when I looked at the website, I thought that we were going to actually be going into houses or buildings as part of the tour, but unfortunately we did not go inside any buildings or anything. We just stayed outside. So I think for me that was a bummer. I wish I could have gotten inside of some of the buildings, maybe some of the houses that we went to, but I don't know. So I think overall the tour is decent. Would I recommend it? Sure. Again, it's good for the price point. You get a good amount of history for the tour. Learn a lot about downtown Salisbury and stuff like that, so that's a plus. But yeah, I think if you wanted to do this tour, definitely do it if you're into history, paranormal stuff. However, I didn't really feel anything paranormal or experience anything paranormal. Got a dog over here kind of going crazy. But yeah, I didn't really experience anything out of the ordinary, but yeah, it was still pretty cool. So I give it 3.5 out of 5. It's a pretty solid score. So if you're ever in Salisbury, downtown Salisbury, check this tour out. It's pretty cool. The guide was pretty awesome. He was pretty funny, very knowledgeable, obviously. So I think that it is worth it. I'm trying to cross this road so I don't die. Got crazy drivers out here, always be aware. So, but yeah. That is going to do it for today's video right here where we started at, where we met at. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe, it'd mean a lot to me. It would help my channel out tremendously. Also, ring that notification bell. That way you will be in the loop for future videos that I upload here on this channel. Other than that, till I see you all in the next one, keep it creepy welcome to Halloween season. Halloween season is here, and I have a lot more creepy Halloweenish stuff on the agenda for future videos. So that's it. Signing off. I will see you all in the next one. Till then, take care, and I'll see you then. I'm out.